I'll have it done. I'll have it done by Friday, and my grades are going to be due a week from Wednesday. So I think if you can knock out that final exam over the weekend, yeah, then we'll all be done. And guys, what I thought I'd do, since Joe McCann is technically in the class, there's only three of you, and I don't think it's really fair to be asking a whole bunch of Joe, really, because I think he's working full time. He can't really be here. That's kind of an interesting. He can't really be here to discuss the EPA grant with us realistically, so I was just going to base his grade on his quizzes from Lovins, more or less, and then I'll base yours on that as well. And then the EPA grant, though, I kind of view it as a little bit of a bonus because we need to price this gadget out. We need to see what our capital cost is up front. I think it's unlikely that anyone in the American market is going to save money with it. And in fact, they're probably going to gain some hassle, but they might feel good about it, right? They're like, oh, I've got my little solar. Do you agree with that?
Well, 3 cents a day. How many
Right.
How many days is it going to take? Because I've got it priced out. It's like $400.
Yeah.
To make it.
Yeah.
And that I don't even know because when I did it on my calculator, I had $600 to make the first one.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So the payback is never.
well, half past never maybe.
Yeah. Half past never.
It depends what people use it for, or how often they use it, and what the price of electricity is.
Yeah, and I think when it comes, and it comes back to this whole Nash bargaining problem too. It's like, what do you really value? Because, and I'm sure I haven't really delved that deeply into the whole the Nash thing, but you could put $1 in each of those two people's pockets. The dollar is going to be worth a lot more to one guy than the other. The dollar is going to be worth more to the poor person.
Or the renter. I'm thinking, you could just run this out on your balcony and
Yeah,
setting out there, but
yeah,
there's so many different little technicalities that I'm looking, because I was looking at that stuff over there, and it's gotta be, FCC's it can't,
emit radio.
it can't mess with the FCC, and it can't, okay, I'm not gonna do that, I just wanna,
Sure.
gather some solar energy and
Yeah.
store it in battery, basically, for use.
Yeah. Let's have Andrew McChain come in too. Let's have him come in on. Would it be better for him to come in Wednesday or come in Friday when we want to vet the idea with Gladen? Because McChain has already built one of these things. I mean, it's giant. It probably weighs 400 pounds. Big old pneumatic wheels on it. It's mobile. You can move it on your own like a dolly. It is
Amp-hours it got on it?
deluxe. I think he's got two full lead acids sitting in there. So whatever that is. What'd you guys come up on your air compression? What was the megajoules in one of your batteries? Is that in your report?
Megajoules in one of the batteries?
Well, you said amp hours, and what you're more interested is in the volt amp hours. Because a volt amp hour is the same as a watt hour. An amp
So
hour.
you multiply your volts by the watts?
You multiply your volts by the amps, and
50 watt hour?
you multiply your volts by your amps by your hours, because 1 volt times 1 amp is 1 watt.
Okay, yeah, that was some stuff that,
That's the power law.
we did most of that.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it, though. You guys must have put it in your final report. PV. Compressed air, final practicum. Whoa, look at all those edits.
No, that's not the end.
I know, it's not. I don't think I have the other one. This was really well written though, guys. Joules, okay, so there's the power law, or Watt's law. So the 33 gallon has an individual battery can provide 1.32 kilowatt hours of energy.
Watt hours are those?
Energy?
Is kilowatt hours, it's just watt hours.
A kilowatt hour is 1,000 watt hours.
Oh, okay. Wow, I figured something out the other day.
Yeah?
I did, I finally learned something.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You finally taught me something.
Let's hear it.
I already explained it to you.
What?
The volts times the amp hours times the time
Is energy?
is watt hours. And 1,000 of those is a kilowatt hour.
Yeah, that's it.
I figured out kilowatt hours finally.
Nice. It takes a while, yeah, you know, it's, we,
I-
Take a while.
yeah.
I wish that, you had just a class that dealt with that, a math class, nothing else.
We do, it's NRG 101. You took 101.
I took NRG 101,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we did not do enough of them. I think instead of all the other reading that we did around all of that,
Yeah.
it's just math, it's
Yeah,
not.
like an energy units and conversions class, like.
Units, conversions,
Yeah, I think
it's
that's good too.
just the math. Just like the engineering math.
Yeah,
It would be just the math, and you wouldn't have to read anything but a math book, and what you would do is basically, you just do the problems. You solve like word problems
Mm.
in algebra.
Yeah.
Or in trigonometry or geometry.
Sure.
You just sit there and you have a whole page of practice, and then pretty soon it's gonna be like, aha, I get it.
Okay. I like that.
You like that idea?
I can hit that a little harder in 101. Yeah. So anyway, so that sounds about right. So just, think of your battery sitting there, and a house is gonna run at about a kilowatt of power. And like, it's hard for me to imagine that one battery running my house for a full hour, but that's about all it's got. And I'm like, I can't believe it's got that much, but okay, it can run my fridge, couple lights. It could run a hairdryer for 45 minutes if the hairdryer's running at 1,500 watts. So, substantial though, one lead acid battery.
Okay, I don't have my calculator, so we got 12 times 35 is,
No, I'm picking my nose, I'm not on screen though. Sorry.
she's not on camera.
Sometimes I wish they would specify things in watt hours or kilowatt hours instead of amp hours,
Oh,
But
well,
I'm sure there's reasons.
no, the reason is because the battery already has a voltage stamped on the side of it.
Okay, so you know the voltage.
Yeah.
So it's-
I think that's the reason, that a battery the battery already has a, yeah, I wonder, I think the reason, here's the reason for it, Adam, is the battery cannot deliver unlimited current either.
Right.
So, milliamp hours. So like if the battery says it's got 100 milliamp hours in it, it might mean, let's see. I'm not sure that's true either. I mean, 'cause- 'cause-
2 milliamps for 50 hours, or 10 milliamps
it might, yeah,
The system I designed has 429 amp hours,
at 12 volts.
12 volts.
Okay.
So it's 35 amp hours and 12 volts.
Let's see how much that is.
I've got the table up in the middle, so.
Oh, you did?
That's, most lead acid batteries have around 30 hours.
It was 35 amp. and it's-
35?
It was rated for solar power or golf cart.
So 35 amp hours times 12 equals,
I think 429.
which you said 35 amp hours. 35 amps per hour times 12.
That was close.
That's 420 joules, so that's half, that's only a third of what this is. So it's just a smaller battery than whatever
It's
this
just
thing
a
is.
smaller battery.
Yeah,
And I was looking at the smaller battery, because it's only 23 pounds.
okay.
And if we needed, we could hook 2 in series and get twice that. So you still are not gonna get as much as the big one. So would you rather go with the big one?
I think,
Place in the case in the bottom of it that you could wire the.
well, I think it'd be nice to have the case big enough to have a full-size battery, but it could accommodate this smaller battery too. You could always put a smaller one in.
$63, I mean.
You know what, especially if it's going off into Africa, somebody else is gonna figure out a way to stick 10 batteries on the thing until the tires pop too, so it probably doesn't even matter in some way.
Well, that's another thing, on the tires, I was thinking we could upcycle bicycle tires.
Yeah, I was dragging this big old table around the neighborhood yesterday on a 2-wheel dolly, and they were solid tires, no spokes, and it was tough, just keeping it from rocking back and forth. So yeah, having some big. And I was thinking, yeah, you need spoked wheels on it for sure. Probably no suspension, but at least air in the tires for a little bit of suspension.
For a little bit of, yeah, but all of the cases that I see have those, little
I know,
plastic,
yeah.
like you're going through the airport
Sure,
with.
yeah.
And we can't have that.
No, it can't.
Because that was one of the things that the girl that I talked to about it, that lived in Ghana for 2 years, said, those cases, I mean, they're really nice when you're pulling through the airport, but once
Yeah.
you get out of the airport in Africa, there's no paved roads.
I'm liking this thing more and more, because it seems like it's bigger than the one that Jonathan Bowe has. It's smaller than Andrew McChain's. It's a little mid-sized portable. I don't think I've seen it. I'm almost afraid to go looking on the internet right now because I don't think I've seen this thing.
Well, we should try looking.
I don't know. I'm too afraid. I want to work on my own
I
thing.
think where we're gonna get it is the solar cells. And, you could maybe even manufacture just the cells afterwards, so you could make the system bigger. Put a bigger battery in it.
Mhm.
Put
Sure.
Array on it.
Yeah, because I think we've got just a platform that we build. Were you able to price cells at all? Were you able to compare those at all?
Yeah, we both did.
Oh, nice.
I think we both put a bunch of stuff on the.
Let's go check it out, because I'd like to get Teddy Joe purchasing that stuff today.
I didn't look at a whole lot of different options, I just sort of settled on one, and
We do know that we're not going to be, the beginning of our project doesn't start until August of next year.
I know. Hey, man, my NSF grant that I just got, when I submitted it? October of 2010, for the first time. You know when I submitted it next? October of 2011. You know when I submitted it next? October of 2012. You know the one that I got? October of 2013. So our chances of this thing even being funded a year from now are slim. 10%. You're even at this, you're rolling the dice that you're going to get that 15
We
grand.
want to buy these solar cells, and, well, I guess you will.
Yeah. No, I hope you guys are into this enough that you realize you don't just fire this thing off from your hip one afternoon and it's funded. This is kind of a ongoing thing.
yeah, I'm not gonna be around much longer, but I'd be happy to, if you tell Tim, I'd be happy to keep working on this once a week or whatever.
Yeah.
After class is over.
Yeah, and I'll have other students that want to pick it up, and you can, like Andrew McChain, he's not writing the grant either, but has he been working on it? Yeah, because he's already done all this stuff that we're doing. Where should I look here, guys, for your posts? Is it going to be here?
You might want to look at Gary's first,
Oh, okay.
and then kind of compare what it is.
It's budget.
Budget. Are these the edits of the,
No, those are total different. That's all new.
So is this-
Overview of the budget.
Oh.
And the table in an Excel, so it's worded. in
which
Excel.
one should I open first?
Well, I don't know, you can open the Excel file and see if I did it right.
Okay. Maybe.
Found a charge control RC, charger deck.
Yeah. Open file. Okay, there we go. Okay, case housing, villages, combined, tires, battery, solar cell. Is T and UT, is that the style? Oh, tabbed and untabbed?
Untabbed.
Okay.
And I'm looking at it, you got 200, 260, 300, and yeah, see, those numbers don't add up down in the bottom. I'm just rounding it out, and
Let's take a look. Grants.
I never did anything for the phone lines group. Okay.
I gotta,
That was where my problem was
yeah, you can't have a, I'll just put it here. Still clear enough, right? Okay. I assume this means wheels, right?
Yeah, tires and wheels,
Yeah.
that's combined.
Okay. Okay, battery. Charge controller. So when you was talking about charge controller, you're gonna save $4 by buying the components and making it, is that right?
Yeah. You save $4 by getting the Adreno board and basically making your little read thing.
What's this upcycling?
Upcycling would be, the batteries is the same. It's a 12-volt, 35 amp hour battery. It's a sealed lead acid.
But what,
Okay, if we upcycle the case and the housing out of aluminum and plastics.
oh, it would be a different cost
It would
than,
be a different
yeah.
cost than the 149.
Gotcha. But we don't know what that is.
We don't
Yeah,
know what
gotcha,
it is.
gotcha.
The tires and the wheels.
Yeah.
I was thinking, you go down to Free Cycles and get your tires and wheels.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also gonna take with the maintenance tech that's gonna have to straighten them back out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep. That's good, man. This looks pretty good. So let's, okay, so what we're looking at is, we're looking at about $1 per cell. And that's about right, because I think most of those cells are about a watt.
Well, I'm also thinking, if you get the untapped cells and the kit to tab them,
Yeah,
it's a little bit more expensive
Yeah.
to get, I think, 3 more cells
mm-hmm.
in a package, 3x6. But
And a lot more work. And I,
also got a lot, that's what I'm thinking.
and I also hate to say it, but an inferior product, because those things are robot soldered. I mean, they're soldered with a machine, and it's going to be way better. So I think we should go with the tabs on those guys. Now, what do you mean by ground up versus, how do you get a ground up battery? What do you mean by that?
From the ground up?
Yeah.
If you look at my word process, the battery right there is 35 amp hours, 12
Mhm.
volts.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've got, from the ground up, there's a series of 8 of them in there. So they're 4.5 amp hours and 12 volts.
Oh, smaller batteries put
There's
together.
smaller batteries in the series.
Okay.
Or is that, would that?
Is that-
Series or parallel?
And is that more, well, if,
And they're, well, if you look at my word, which
Yeah.
isn't put together, it has everything.
Oh, okay.
Mapped out in it, but the numbers are different for some reason. I did on my calculator.
you know, that always happens, man. It's tough. I go into
I
my,
have multiplied something.
well, the other thing is I'll go into my, because I have to write a budget justification too for a grant. And it's tough, like you change one thing in Excel, in the budget, and then you're like, oh my gosh, where did I write that number in my Word document somehow? What the heck is going on here?
That's just to make one of them.
Yep.
And so in order to make it sustainable, we're gonna have to, I didn't go with even putting the panels together because I didn't know the prices.
Right sizing, man. Way to pull a Lovins out. Sweet.
A lot of people quote Lovins, I noticed in their papers and stuff. Read a couple this weekend.
Oh, really?
Quoted them.
The guy's gonna go down in history, man.
Super dude.
Yeah. You know what, though? He's never once written me back. I've written him like 4 or 5 letters and emails and phone calls, nothing. All I get back is can you please send us some money to support our, that's all I ever get back. You know, I've called him about the,
I bet you if you're sending $2, he'd get back to me.
two,
This is money
you
for
think?
the call. Can you please
You
call
think?
me? It's like a
Maybe-
signed address stamped envelope.
Because he keeps talking this big game about this composite material he's got for transportation, the military. I'm like, let me see it. I'll take some, because we're trying to build this car. And I'd love to have a super light, super tough car. And he's got, well, you've even seen it in his book, his super tough panels, right? Where you just lift them into place and make your car. You don't need a heavy robot to, make your giant steel frames. So homeboy ain't talking back
You should
to
have the people that organize the talks, the,
TED Talks.
no, not TED Talks, but the.
Yeah, he wouldn't come.
Series,
I have tried that. I've nominated him before, and he's too expensive. They don't have a budget for him. Yeah. I tried to get Jared Diamond to talk at Drexel. 40.
Wow.
40 grand to give an hour-long talk. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, Solar Night overview. Is Lovins what year is that published? 2012? 2011?
I don't know, I figured once I placed that in the,
2011.
Yeah. Mm. Solar Night is designed as a specific rating to what here?
See, that's just it. I couldn't design it without talking, to provide enough power to, well, it'd be 420. We know it's 420 amp hours, or
Mhm.
watt hours, I mean.
Yep,
So if you had a 110, what, could you run a 110 at basically 4 hours? Something.
Yep.
A little over 4 hours.
yep. 110 watt light bulb.
Yeah,
Yep.
110 watt light bulb or a 110 watt little burner stove.
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah, let's see, the solar night is designed to provide,
410 watt hours.
let's say the solar night, when fully charged, is designed to provide enough, let's just say 420, or let's just say approximately 500, let's just say 0.5 kilowatt hours of energy, right? Which is enough energy to, let's just give like a scenario.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna do next is, you could do the stove, the light, and blah, 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 blah. Because I think what they're gonna look at is, wow, we can run this little burner cook stove off of this for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one of their requests, is to have that clean cooking.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at.
Would you suggest like a laptop computer
Oh, that's good, yeah, yeah, yeah,
for,
yeah.
because those run at about 30 watts, 50 watts?
Yeah, 30 to 100, let's just laptop computer for 5 to 10 hours. A set of, now, what about these LEDs? I brought this thing here because I'd like to, maybe over the break I'll go and grab my,
Oh, it's like, I wondered what that was.
Yeah.
That's LEDs.
yeah.
LED bar. That's cool.
There's not a little inverter in this guy, or rectifier, I mean. It goes from AC to DC. But we could measure how much, current and energy with our kilowatt. What's a reasonable rating for an LED fixture? 30 watt?
Well, this says
Oh, what's it?
25 milliamps, is that right there?
25 milliamps, yeah,
Which is pretty impressive.
it is.
That's why LEDs are so great. They're just-
Is that what it is? So 125 volts times 0.025, is that right? Yeah, amps. It's a 3-watt system. Wow. That bad boy's only 3 watts.
You could run this for a long time.
Yeah. So let's say a laptop for 5 to 10 hours, a set of, let's just call them 3-watt LED fixture. So, let's just go with 10 hours. So if we're going to run one of those for 10 hours, that's 30 watt hours. So let's divide 30 watt hours. Well, let's divide 500 watt hours divided by 30 equals 16. So it could run 22 bulbs. Set of 10 3-watt LED fixtures for 16 hours. What's a reasonable, it's tough to cook with electricity, man.
I'm going, that's what I'm.
Is that what you're trying to
Yeah,
do?
that's what I've been meaning to look at.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna have to plug in.
Those little plug-in hot plates, like one of those brand.
Yeah, that bad boy, it's gonna run.
Well, it's not necessarily a hot plate what I'm looking at. My mother buys them all the time for my sister and me. She bought one when I lived in places in house.
Is it an electric kettle?
It's not an electric kettle, it's like a little, well, you know your little, your resistors that are on your range?
Yeah.
Just over at your house?
Yeah.
It's just one.
Okay, yeah, so let's, what we could do, I mean, boiling water is a good metric. So let's just do a little boiling water deal. What's a reasonable amount of water to boil? 1 liter? Let's just do one, like you're gonna do a 1 liter thing of rice. Like you're gonna cook some rice. You got 1 liter.
Yeah.
Energy. So we got volume, specific heat, or mass, heat, T1, T2, energy. So the volume is 1 liter, the mass is 1 kilogram, the specific heat is 4.21
Is that specific?
water.
Uh,
This is also a 101. This is going to be in,
joules per kilogram?
yeah, joules per kilogram per Kelvin. Or per C, let's do it per C just to be easy. Let's go see if well, actually then I think it's 40, I think it's something like this. Let's go check it out. .12. I had one of the two backwards.
Darn close.
179. 179. And the initial temperature is 20. I think the standards say 20. And you're going to get it boiling. So energy equals the specific heat times the mass times the high temp minus the low temp. This is in joules. Energy in watt hours equals 5 by 3600. Okay, so the volume, this is in liters. The mass is in kilograms. Specific heat, T1. Okay, so this is, so 1 liter, it's gonna take 93 watt hours to boil that thing. And we have 420. Now, these things are maybe 50% efficient. You know, like, most of the heat just goes out into the air. Probably more than most of it goes out into the air. So I think I can safely say that even if it's 25% efficient, we can boil a liter of water. Let's just say that. Laptop for 5 to 10, set of 10 3-watt LED fixtures for over 15 hours, or to boil a liter of water. Boom. That's it. Solar night when fully charged. Okay.
You can throw in those little burners in the kit.
Uh-huh.
That would be part of that.
Yeah,
package.
sure.
I don't know if it'd be smarter than that.
Well, you know, a lot of times too, when you go and order something online, you pick and choose, you know, the components. Did you say you've got, so these are the links for these things? Battery cooler, battery vision. What's this sine wave PO inverter? Power inverter. Okay.
I don't know, but I hate the UMW website.
WMPA or UMW, this thing?
Well, yeah, UMWPA.
Yeah, not that big a fan either. Well, I'm probably about ready to start buying here. Let's get it bought, and then we'll have some parts in to play with.
I got another page that we can compare some of this.
For solar cells?
Yeah, it might even be the same.
Okay. I'm gonna pause the tape here.